A newspaper editor fired him for having no imagination. His first company collapsed before he turned 23. He pitched the same cartoon character to almost 300 studios, and each time he heard a firm no. But the man they call uncreative built the most beloved entertainment empire in human history. Walt Disney grew up poor in Marceline, Missouri. The most valuable thing he owned as a child was a pencil and the willingness to use it. He started drawing before he could explain why. Sold rough sketches to neighbors for spare change. As a teenager, he falsified his age to join the Red Cross as an ambulance driver and got shipped to France. He came back with a sketchbook full of drawings and a conviction he was going to make something of himself in art. What followed was one of the longest runs of failure in the history of American business. He landed a job at a Kansas City newspaper drawing illustrations. It felt like the beginning of something. Then they let him go. Reason given, he lacked imagination. He started his own animation studio anyway, built a small team, believed completely in what he was creating. The business went bankrupt. He was 22, out of money and out of options. So he packed $40 and a single suitcase and boarded a train to Los Angeles. He would start over again. In California, he and his brother Roy scraped together enough to open a new studio. A character called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit finally gained traction. Then a distributor called him into a meeting and dismantled everything. They had quietly acquired the rights to Oswald. They had already hired away most of his animators. In a single conversation, he lost his character, his team, and the momentum he had spent years building. On the train home from that meeting, Walt Disney sketched a mouse. He named the mouse Mickey. He brought it to studios. More than 300 passed. Nobody could see what he saw. But he kept pitching. Eventually, one said yes. Steamboat Willie, one of the first animated films with synchronized sound, stopped audiences cold. Mickey became a sensation. Walt Disney finally had the foothold he had been fighting toward for a decade. Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, each one a gamble. Each one called reckless by people who didn't understand what he was building. Then he announced a theme park. The industry called it Disney's Folly. Banks refused to fund it. Disneyland opened in 1955, but it didn't fail. It changed what entertainment could be.